Well, thank you, everybody. My name is Councilmember Danny Drum, and I want to welcome the mayor, Mayor Bill de Blasio, to Jackson Heights, but even more importantly, to Diversity Plaza. Let's give Mayor Bill de Blasio a big round of applause. And we have been joined today by Commissioner Polly Trottenberg, who's over here to my left, I guess.
That's right.
Commissioner Nisha Argewald.
You figured that out.
And Commissioner Anna Barrios, who I had not had the chance yet to meet, but who was with the DDC. Absolutely. Congratulations and welcome. We're glad to see you, and we appreciate all your efforts to make this plaza renovation possible. Thank you, Commissioner. All right, and I do want to get some other thank yous out of the way because I always forget, and I don't want to do that. So I want to thank the Bangladeshi Institute for Performing Arts for their lovely performance. Let's give them a huge round of applause. I want to thank my former Chief of Staff, Andrew Ronan, who really had the vision to make Diversity Plaza happen and really pulled it all together. Unfortunately, for me, the DOT snatched him, grabbed him up, and made him in charge of all plazas in New York City. Andrew Ronan.
Quality.
Of course, Aga Saleh. And you, thank you very much, Commissioner. We could use him back. All right, okay, all right. Aga Saleh, of course, and Shazia Kauser, who were the first people in this area to believe in what Diversity Plaza could be. Thank you, Aga and Shazia. Would you give us a wave, please, over there? Thank you very, very much. And, of course, to your daughter, Fatima, who was very, very helpful as well. There's their daughter, Fatima. To Shaker Krishnan and Eric Galasan. Shaker, I don't see you right now. I know you're here. Okay, Shaker, thank you. With Friends of Diversity Plaza, thank you for also doing all the work that you do to make this plaza a reality and for bringing so many programs to the plaza. We're very, very grateful to you, Shaker, for your work. Of course, to Laura Hansen from Neighborhood Partners. Laura, I don't know where Laura is, but she was here. There she is over there. All right, Laura, thank you so much for the work that you've done. The Jackson Heights Beautification Group for also believing in this plaza. Thank you to them. To Ace, let's hear it for Ace, our cleaners. Ace does an amazing job here under very difficult conditions, whether it's in extreme heat or freezing cold and ice and snow. Ace, we love you. Thank you very much. To my dear friend Will Sweeney, who actually was the person who gave me the name for this plaza. And he said that this area really is, in many ways, the crossroads of the world. And what we should do is celebrate our diversity, and that's how Diversity Plaza got its name. Right. Of course, to Mr. Das and to Mr. Gandhi from the Indian Merchants Association, thank you, Mr. Das, for everything that you've done. To the Jackson Heights Merchants Association as well, thank you for your support. To the Bangladeshi Business Association of Jackson Heights, thank you. To my new landlord, Rahul Hershit Chug, who's over here as well, thank you for joining us today. And of course to the DDC and to the DOT. And of course also thank you to all of Community Board 3 members who I see here throughout the audience. You know, Diversity Plaza, when it first started, wasn't 100% kosher with everybody here in the area. But we had a vision, and together we worked together to make this a reality. And Diversity Plaza has become the center of South Asian life here in the borough of Queens. On any given night, you could come here, and when we have the benches and the chairs and the tables out, the place is packed. People come after work, mostly a lot of times after work, and they will sit and talk about the day, what happened to them, the news from their country. But Diversity Plaza has also become the place when disasters occur. So when Nepal had the earthquake in April of 2015, thousands, literally thousands of people came to this plaza, Mr. Mayor. And some people for the 4 days after the earthquake, 5 days after the earthquake, sat here and did fingernails to raise money that they could send that money back to Nepal. It was an amazing sight to see. And I see Adhikar is here. Let's hear it for Adhikar. And when Orlando, the terrible tragedy in Orlando, when LGBT people were killed in Orlando in a terrorist attack, this is where we gathered. And over 24 Muslim leaders joined with us because the idea was that nobody is going to divide us, even over such a horrific incident as what happened in Orlando. And we stood united as a community here in Diversity Plaza. And I'm going to get a little political, but when Donald Trump was elected president, this is where everybody came to speak and to say what their feelings were, because most of us here in this community were very disappointed by that election. But it came, and it was a therapy session for many of us Democrats here in the area. And Mr. Mayor, we have also had the distinguished honor of having Diversity Plaza named as one of the 240 reasons to celebrate America by Time magazine. And so many of you have seen this, but I just want to very quickly read, and then I'm going to turn it over to the mayor.
Which one is it?
Right here, and it's number 46.
46, okay.
Of course, it's in red because we're like the best over here, right? But it says, one city block holds the world. Every 10th person in the United States was born in another country, the Census Bureau tells us. But in New York City, it's every third person. And when you pass the green freeway sign reading, "Welcome to Queens, the world's borough," the ratio of native-born to foreign-born reaches perfect balance, 1-to-1. There's a reason Archie Bunker's favorite chair, that refuge from change, has been relegated to the Smithsonian. At the junction of 37th Road and 73rd Street in Jackson Heights, a block has been closed to traffic and seats are set out for the public, which here resembles nothing so much as the United Nations in casual dress. The summer air smells of pavement, kunum, mango, and kebab. Restaurants serve food from India, Colombia, Nepal, Peru, Bangladesh, Thailand, Pakistan, Vietnam, Japan, and Korea, and many others. In May, while officially renaming the pedestrian way Diversity Plaza, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio noted that within the range of about a mile, 150 languages are spoken. If immigration is, in fact, America's way of refreshing itself, this block is an outdoor shower under a cobalt sky. I don't think anybody could have said it better. And Mr. Mayor, we are so proud and fortunate to have you here, and we appreciate deeply all that you have done for Jackson Heights and for us here in the city of New York. Let's give a big round of applause to our mayor, Mayor Bill de Blasio.
Well done. Thank you, everybody. It is such a joy to be here. First of all, I hope you like my new look, okay? It's going to be my official look from now on. I got to tell you, Councilmember Danny Drum always inspires me. And a lot of you know, when he talks about his love for all the people that makes up the community, this is very, very genuine. He learned to understand all the people in the community as a public school teacher. And he was there for their children. And he understood the joys of the immigrant experience and the challenges that come with it. He understood the sting of discrimination as a gay man fighting for equal rights long before it was easy. And when I listen to him talk, it gives me such hope because it reminds me what it would mean for everyone to really be there for each other and to have a society that includes everyone. So I just have to say at the outset, there are some public officials who really show us our better angels and the way we need to go. Let's thank Danny Drum for being one of them.
Thank you.
Well done, brother. Now, Danny Drum worked hard to make this a reality. And as he mentioned in the beginning, there's a lot of controversy. This was an idea that had a lot of value, but also the way it was done originally troubled a lot of people in the community. A lot of people didn't feel like they had a chance to put their imprint on it. Danny persevered, believing that we could get it right as a city and we could get it right working with the community. He allocated $500,000 in city council funds to get this plaza to be all it could be. And I want to thank him for that. And I also want to thank my colleagues who are part of making this plaza its ultimate core destination for this community. When it's all done, it will be even greater for this community. I want to thank our Transportation Commissioner, Polly Trottenberg, our Commissioner for the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs, Nisha Agarwal, and our Acting Commissioner for the Department of Design and Construction, Ana Barrio. Let's thank them all. And I want to, you thanked a lot of people and organizations. I just want to mention four in particular, and I love this name so much. The organization known as SUKHI, which is Social Uplift Knowledge and Hope Initiatives. That's a positive title. That's very good. There's their sign. We thank you. We thank the Friends of Diversity Plaza for your commitment to this place. We thank the Jackson Heights Beautification Group. And, of course, the Bangladeshi Institute for Performing Arts. Thank you again. So you could use the phrase Diversity Plaza in a lot of parts of New York City, but probably this one earns it more than almost any place else. Queens is the most diverse borough in the city and one of the most diverse places on earth, and Jackson Heights is the center of that extraordinary diversity. And the notion here was to create a plaza, permanent plaza, that could be that gathering place that Danny talked about for the long term and be everything that the community hoped it would be. The plan we're announcing today brings out all the good in this plaza and makes it permanent and protects it for the long term. It's a $6.4 million project. It'll be completed by the end of next year, so I said that on record, okay? Everybody, completed by the end of next year. And it'll mean new trees, it'll mean new planters with flowers, it'll mean a performance space, and in the surrounding streets, measures to lower the speeds and make them safer for everyone coming to enjoy Diversity Plaza. So that's the physical part. But I want to talk about the larger meaning, because Danny alluded to it. We're very proud of everything in this city. All New Yorkers have a special appreciation for Times Square. But in fact, this may be the real crossroads of the world. Because here, the beauty of this place is New Yorkers of every background, every language spoken, every faith, gathering here together in harmony. And I want to remind people as we go through what I call our national identity crisis as a result of the last election. Underneath all that, America has been changing and evolving for a long time. Most people in this country, like most people in this city, want to get along, want to find a way to appreciate each other and work with each other. It's the very origins of this country that we are a multi-faith, multicultural place. And in New York City, we should be particularly proud because we've become even more diverse. I always remind people we have the highest number of immigrants today in this city in 100 years. You have to go back to the time my grandparents came from southern Italy to have a moment in our city's history when there were so many immigrants here. And at the same time as we have the largest immigrant population in a century, we are more unified than we've been in a long time. We're not perfect, but we're a lot more unified as a city. There's a lot more harmony day to day than there was even a few decades ago. We are safer than we've ever been, and immigrants contributed greatly to that safety. We're the safest big city in America, so thank you to everyone here for all you brought to help us become the safest big city in America. We are the most prosperous we've been, certainly in many, many decades. And again, part of what we have to address as we resolve that identity crisis is understanding that our immigrants help us to build an economy for all. It's very sad when divisive voices have to create an equation where there are some winners and some losers. That's always the trick they play, to suggest if someone does well, someone else has to be hurt. I think it's a misunderstanding of reality. In fact, the immigrants who have come to the city have helped us to create the strongest economy we've ever had, and everyone benefits. It doesn't matter if you've been here for 10 generations or you got here a year ago, everyone's benefiting together. And we're an example. In this city, we're an example to our country, and that example is best epitomized right here in Diversity Plaza. It's something to be so proud of. So we're going to keep making it better all the time. And I want to say it this way also. When we hear the voices of hate, when we hear the voices of division, the answer, as it's always been over the course of history, is to answer hate with love, to answer despair with hope. Here, just by everyone getting together, just by the fact that a Christian and a Jew and a Muslim might be sitting on the same bench together, just by the fact that people of all faiths and all backgrounds are enjoying this space together. No one asks for an identity card. No one asks what your religion is. No one asks how many years you've been here. Everyone lives here in peace together. That means something very powerful, that Diversity Plaza is an act of defiance against those voices of hatred and division. And finally, just want to say, as we near the end of City Hall in your borough for Queens, we've had a remarkable week in Queens. First of all, this is a really big place, I'd like to say for the record. Here's my summation of Queens. Really big place, every kind of person in the world here, and really, really good food. And I have eaten all of it this week, and I'm going to finish strong. It was very important for Colombian Independence Day that I eat arepas yesterday, so that was part of my mission. But when we talk about City Hall in your borough, the power of it is that all of the city government, the deputy mayors, the commissioners, everyone focuses their attention and energies on one borough. And it helps us not only to better understand what people need and the things that are working and the things that aren't working, and the things that have been stalled for a long time, because there's lots of that we always have to untangle and fix. It also helps us to understand the things that will really improve the quality of life for people in the borough of Queens. And here's an example right here. It's a time for us to nail down the investments that will make people's lives better, and we're very, very proud to be doing that here. I'll conclude by saying one of the things I hoped for and dreamed of when I was talking about the future of the city 4 years ago, and I know Danny Drum shares this point, we believed that there really could be a 5-borough economy and a 5-borough government. For a lot of years, we watched an approach to our city government that was too centered on just one borough. And the assumption about our economy was that the core of it was one borough and everything else was okay, but not that crucial to the equation. What we've now shown these last few years is that job growth is actually stronger in the outer boroughs, in many parts of the outer boroughs, than in Manhattan. Jobs are developing where they're accessible to people from neighborhoods. City government thinks about all 5 boroughs equally. Those are big changes. Those are changes that would have been hard to imagine not long ago. But that's another important part about City Hall in your borough, is it focuses us all the time on constantly trying to perfect what a 5-borough government means for everyday people in this city. So there's a lot to celebrate today, a lot to be proud of. Let me say a few words in Spanish, because we're in Diversity Plaza. I wish I could do other languages, but I'm just going to do one right now. La Plaza de la Diversidad está en el corazón de Jackson Heights, uno de los barrios más diversos del mundo. Hoy empezamos a construir una plaza permanente que será un lugar de encuentro para toda la comunidad. El proyecto es también testimonio de lo que somos, una ciudad abierta y acogedora para todos. So with that, I want to congratulate everyone. This is an example of all the great things happening in Queens, and everyone celebrate the greatness of this borough and the greatness of this neighborhood. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Okay, brother.
We're going to do the
Yes. Oh, yes.
So now I'd like to ask Shaker to come up, Eric to come up, Shazia, Aga, and Fatima.